When you're working with building automation, you're going to hear the term front end. So, what is a front end? The front end is just the GUI, the graphical user interface. It's the web pages, things like that. One of the examples would be Tritium, which uses the Niagara framework. In the Niagara framework, it just uses universal software modules. They call them jar files, which stands for Java Archive Record, and their use is needed to communicate and interact with different manufacturers' protocols. In the case of the legacy Johnson N2, they would have a driver that would talk N2. They'll talk BACnet, they'll talk other ones. It just depends on which driver you get. So it allows them to talk to legacy protocols or talk to other protocols. And then they take all that data and they convert it using Baja, so the building automation Java architecture, to one of their 8 common Niagara objects. And they call that normalizing the data. So they go out to all these different manufacturers, specific protocols, they convert that information into the Niagara framework. So those 8 common objects are really 4 of them, but they're either a readable or they're writable. So the 4 common objects or basic control objects would be Boolean, numeric, enumerated, or strings. And then out of those 4 options, it could either be a read only point or a writable, meaning that you can write down to that point and make it do what you want. So Boolean, just think on off, binary, so light switches. Numeric, think numbers, analog values, temperature sensors. Enumerated, it's just multiple states represented by numbers, which then represents the different stage, such as occupied, unoccupied, night setback. So one might be occupied. So one would equal occupied. Strings are just words on the screen. Niagara uses the proprietary protocol called FOX-S, but different manufacturers license this. So that way they can then have a JACE that has Niagara on it, or they'll have some type of supervisor software to go look at multiple buildings. Niagara Workbench is a Windows based software, and it's the engineering tool that you use to actually build the front end or actually work with the JACE or whatever piece of hardware has that software on it. That way you can then normalize the data, bring it in, present it as a web page, and then you have a front end.